Hi there, welcome to Floating in Dreams. This is going to be my monthly haul for December. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. Once a month, I like to come on here to show you all the makeup-y bits that are new into my collection. Some of these could be PR, but most of it is bought with my own money. And this way, you have a bit of an idea of what kind of reviews you can expect from me, and sometimes I have already filmed with the items that I'm showing you. Every month this channel makes a little bit of money, and that money I use to make purchases for the channel so that I have content coming for you continuously. So this is just a way for me to stay accountable so that you know what's going on. And I have a couple of exciting things to chat about again. This will not be including any Black Friday purchases. Black Friday is a little bit later this year, so those things will not be coming in, and I will be showing you those in January. Usually with Black Friday, shipping times are a little bit longer than usually throughout the year, so it is more difficult for me to show you that this early. And I'm also filming this in advance because over the Black Friday weekend, I'm actually quite busy because I'm going on a trip and I'm going to be visiting family, so there isn't a lot of time for me to film. So that's why, since I'm wearing this really pretty cardigan today, I thought I already have everything in that I know I can possibly show in this video, so I'll just sit down and film it once I have those items. Haven't taken pictures of a lot of these yet, so I will not be able to insert any swatches, but then at least you know what you can expect from me review-wise over on the blog, in my eyeshadow palette review video that's coming up this month, as well as what you can expect from me for my Shop My Stash videos, because that's the video that goes live every month where I show you what makeup I'm actually trying and what I've actually been using. So that's always a great update for you to know what am I playing with, what reviews can you expect me to do in the future. First things first, I received from PR, and I received PR from Whatsup Beauty. They sent me a message that they were going to be launching blushes and bronzers, and they asked me very kindly if I wanted to receive some shades. So I requested the two lightest bronzer shades and some of the blushes so I can test a couple of them out to see what the range of the line is. There are 4 shades available in both the blushes and the bronzers, but when I looked at some of the images, I was like, I don't think that these darker shades are going to work for me necessarily. And I love how Whatsup Beauty does that they actually communicate with you in advance before just blindly shipping you an entire line, and you can actually request what you would like to have. And if any of these shades don't work out for me, I already have an idea of who I might be able to gift some of these things to, so don't worry, they will not go to waste for sure. But part of the collection is also some new brushes, because this is an aspect of the Whatsup Beauty line that I don't hear a lot of people talking about. The brushes from Whatsup Beauty are actually really nice. I believe they're all made in Japan from what I know. Yes, handmade in Japan with uncut and undyed goat's hair. And they came out with a bronzer brush. I haven't even looked at these. I just got the package in and it was already dark. So I'm going to keep these inside the packaging so I can actually take pictures of these. But here is their bronzer brush. And one of the things I love about the Whatsup Beauty brushes is that they're not super big. I don't have really big features. So with a lot of brush brands, I actually struggle with brushes just taking up too much space on my face. And the Whatsup Beauty brushes are great, especially their eyeshadow brushes are good for like smaller eyes like I do. They also came out with a highlighter brush. And I like this packaging. So here's the highlighter brush. And they have this pink handle, by the way, which I think is cute as well. It's just, you know, with all the black handled brushes I already have, these always stand out in my collection. And finally, they also sent me their blush brush. And here's what that looks like. It looks like a bigger version of the highlighter brush. So the bronzer brush is the biggest one. This one's a little bit smaller. And then the highlighter brush is even smaller than that. Here we have the new bronzers in 2 shades, as I mentioned. These are called the Cheequeterre bronzers. And what Whatsup Beauty seems to be doing, now that they've sent me a couple of their items over time, is that they do sort of choose a destination that they use as the inspiration for the product. So the highlighters are inspired by the Serengeti plains, I think that's what they're called in English. And then of course there were the eyeliners and the lipsticks that were Egypt inspired, and this is Italy inspired, which for bronzers I think is a good pick. It does seem a little bit random, like there doesn't really seem to be a lot of rhyme or reason to the destinations they choose. It's not like with Nomad Cosmetics where they really sort of use it as part of their branding, but I think it's cute. Here is what the compact looks like. This is the bronzer in shade 10 Light. Can I open this? It's very smooth packaging. And this is one of the reasons why I was super excited to try this. Look at this. This light shade has actual streaks of like baby blue lavender in, which makes me very hopeful that this might be a tinge like not super warm toned. Again, not entirely sure if that's the case, because I did try some Whatsup Beauty products, namely in the lipsticks that they sent me before, that were far too warm toned and the shades weren't quite right for me. But this looks light enough. It's more yellow toned, which as far as a warm tone bronzer goes, a yellow tone works ever so slightly better for me than a very sort of orangey leaning one. And it has that cooler swirl running through it, which had me very intrigued. And did you know, by the way, that Whatsup Beauty is made in Italy? It is. This is shade 20 Medium. And this is a fair bit darker, as you can see in the swirl, but it also, again, has a little bit of that purple. It just has less of it. So I think this is not only going to be darker, but it's also probably going to be a little bit warmer toned. I think looking at these, the light version is probably going to be best. I will be swatching both to decide which one I'm going to keep for myself. But as I already mentioned, if this doesn't work for me, I do have a good home that I can send this to for sure. And then the blushes are also called Cheequeterre, and these are the blushes, as I said. I got 3 shades because these all looked interesting. There is a deeper, more like berry tone as well. And even though I really like a deep berry, it doesn't always suit my skin tone. And where the bronzers have purple packaging, these have pink packaging, which I think is cute. And here again, this is why I was so intrigued with this. This is the lightest blush. This is in the shade Peaceful Pizza, which is a cute name. But look at that shade. It's got a little bit of peach, a little bit of pink, and then that blue. So I like color theory brain of mine is instantly starting to think like, is this then going to swatch more warm toned? Is it going to be more cool toned if I swirl all the shades together? I'm very intrigued with these. Number 20 is Serene Sienna. And here again, that gorgeous pink packaging. And this, I think, could actually be a bronzer shade for me. Because it looks quite warm toned, but it does have pink and bronzy orange tones running through it. So I think it can be like a warmer pink on some people, but for me, this could actually work as a bronzer if I want to go a bit more pink toned with my bronzer. So that's why I wanted to try that shade. And the final shade I have is Relaxed Roma. And this is shade 30. And this one I'm a little bit on the fence because it looks perhaps a little bit too peach for me. But of course, I just had the campaign images. And it is indeed a bit more of a slight, like, warmer mauve tone, it seems. That's what I was hoping for, because if I look at this sticker, I thought it was going to be peach toned, but it looks more like a mauve. I'm intrigued. I think these are, just looking at these from the pan, they look interesting. They have nice packaging. The swirls are really sort of adding a new dimension to it. I've never seen a bronzer with a lilac swirl or a blush with a blue swirl. It could just be that it just cools down the whole product a little bit more, but I will be swatching these and testing them out for sure. Not sure if they're already going to be my Shop My Stash. I may have to save them for January, also because the shades seem to be fairly light. I think it will be good for my super pale winter skin. So those were the bits I received in PR from Whatsup Beauty. Thank you so very much to Whatsup Beauty. These products are out now. They were released on the 22nd of November, which I did also share with you on my community tab. Whenever I get these things in and I want to share it with you really quickly, because the moment I show you this video and the actual release date are a little bit further apart, I tend to always put things in my community tab. So keep an eye on that in the future in case you missed out on it this time. And good to know for people who are in the EU, if Whatsup Beauty is a little bit expensive for you to buy, because Whatsup Beauty is a US-based indie brand, Monolith stocks them as well. And word on the street is that with the next launch, early December, so around the time this video goes up, these products should also come to Monolith. And with Monolith, I do have a code, which is in the description box down below, in case you want to use it. In case you follow my second channel where I also post some vlogs of travels that I do, you know that I went to Edinburgh at the end of October and I didn't do a whole lot of makeup shopping. I did meet up with a friend. She gifted me some products, but those I already put in a Shop My Stash. So if you watch my November Shop My Stash, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. But I did buy some new bits. Went into Superdrug. I was mainly there for book shopping and sightseeing, so I didn't really focus on the makeup this time. But Superdrug had a buy two get one free deal, so I wanted to make the most of it. And I finally found them. I finally found them in a store in Europe. The NYX Butter Blushes and Bronzers. These are not out anywhere where I live. I've checked out NYX in store. Whenever I've been going around town, I have not been able to find these anywhere in the Netherlands, but they were there in Scotland. So I got the Buttermelt blush for the Butter, which is shade 6. And these are intense, I'm not gonna lie, but this was like one of the shades where it's like, I can still make that work. Is this aimed at deeper skin tones than mine? Yes, but I think with a light hand, I can make this work better than some of the other shades. From the packaging, it looks like there's going to be a really pretty lilac shade, but when you open it up, it's actually just a baby pink that is very similar to any sort of baby pink blush. Like if you have something like the Dior Backstage Rosy Glow blush, very similar to that. So I didn't feel I needed that because if I have one of those, I'm happy. But with these like berry raisin kind of shades, I love them for the fall time, and they can be difficult to do. And the entire line was, I'm not gonna lie, a little bit warm for my liking. There weren't a lot of cool tone blushes in the range, and this was the only thing that I like swatched that looked a little bit more cool toned. So that's why I sometimes go darker than what I need just to get the right undertone that I want in blush lines. That worked, I hope, fine. I haven't tried it yet. And then the Buttermelt bronzer in shade number 2, all buttered up. Shade 1, far too yellow, far too yellow. When I swatched a couple of the lightest shades on the back of my hand, this one seemed to be the most neutral. So that's why I went with shade number 2, and I went a shade up again. I find that depth is more easily controlled than undertone, especially in powder products like these are. And as I said, they're intense, so these are things that, oh boy, I'm nervous for using them, but I think they can be nice. I've heard lots of great things about it. And then to round out the little deal that they had going on, I picked up another one of the Milani Color Fetish lipsticks. And as you will see in the rest of this haul, I went a little lip crazy this month. I'm not sure what was wrong with me, but all of a sudden, I found discounts for all of these lip products that were still on my wish list, and I was like, might as well buy them. This one was still on that wish list as well. This is Blossom. I bought 2 of these shades in the UK earlier in the year when I was in London. I bought Fleur and Secret from this range, and now I've added a brighter pink in Blossom, which is really pretty indeed. I love the quality of these Milani lipsticks, so I knew I wanted to get more. Before I went though, this baby was announced, and I was like, I need that. The Ethereal Eyes from Makeup by Mario is one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes ever since I tried it earlier this year. It, of course, came out 2 years ago for the first time, but I missed out on it that time. And so I bought it when it came back last year, was finally able to test it out at the start of this year, and I fell in love. I fell in love with it so much that I actually used it on my neighbor when I did her makeup for her wedding day earlier in the year. So it's a solid one. And when he came out with a cool tone version, the Moonlight eyes, you guys knew I had to try this. So this has been my pick. I was able to order this through the French Sephora website, which made it a lot cheaper than the original Ethereal Eyes. That one I could only get through the official Makeup by Mario website, which is based in the US. So I was hit with all of the custom fees afterwards. So that palette was like 100 euros after all the costs. This one I paid like 5 euros in additional shipping to, and I wasn't hit with any custom fees. So that was good. And this is far more cool toned in swatches than it looks in the pan or what the images show you online. Yes, there are warm shades, like this is definitely a little bit more warm toned, but it definitely has a silvery sparkle to it, so it plays well with the overly gray tones it has. It has some really, really, really stunning taupey gray shades. This leans a little bit mauve on my skin tone. So the only thing that is truly, truly warm for me, or maybe these two, maybe this cream, but they work really well together. Like they really play well with the rest of the colors when I swatch them. And it is the same quality as the original Ethereal Eyes, judging by swatches. This is going to be on the list to try in December. So you're going to get my full review for this very soon. And then another purchase I made because I knew I wanted to film a video with it. So if you want to see me using these products, go to my full face of Kiko Milano that I did in November, because I did place an order with Kiko Milano to stock up on some of my favorites and just to see what new things they had. I did buy a little bit more than just these 3 things because that's not worth it, but I show everything in that video already, and these were the only products I purchased that were actually new to me from Kiko. Everything else that I bought in that order were often things I had already tried, or in shades of products that I already have multiples of and I just love and they're my go-to. And I wanted to be able to show as many new things from Kiko as I possibly could in a single video, but these are things I had never tried from them, and that's why I wanted to show them in this haul. So first things first, they have come out with a chrome version of their water shadows. This has a really lovely purpley duochrome to it. They are very sparkly. I'm feeling like this could be like the duochrome version of those Patrick Ta shimmers that everybody's going on about, but at a fraction of the cost. So if you like a bit of sparkle in your life and you want it to have a bit of a shift, try this. It's absolutely stunning. And then the lip combo I put on in that video is a lip liner that I got actually more shades from. I did already try this earlier in the year, but I fell in love and wanted to have more of them. These are the Creamy Color Lip Liners, and this is in shade 23. And shade 23 is a beautiful mauve tone, which I had hoped would go really well with the Powder Power lipstick in shade 24, which is another really pretty mauve tone. I did get 3 of the lip liners, 3 of these lipsticks, so I got 2 additional shades. Whenever I try new lipsticks, I always want to buy something that's more nude for me, something red, because if a line has a good red, I'm happy, and usually something brighter or vampier. I'm really in my vampy lipstick moment. You wouldn't be able to tell from this bright number that I'm wearing today, but I'm really loving vampy lipstick at the second, so the 3rd lipstick I got from this range is more vampy indeed. And I did the same thing with my lip liner purchase because I realized I have a lot of nude lip liners, but I didn't have too many deeper tones. So that's what I focused on in this purchase. And then I did a thing. Because there was a singles day, singles weekend, I don't know. But a lot of my brands that I had lipsticks on the wish list for, they all did 22% off. And I was like, 22% off of MAC? That's a good deal. And then on the actual MAC Dutch website, they had a deal for 50% off of their lip liners. And I still had a bunch of these on my lip liner wish list, because now that I have discovered lip liners, I have found my 2 favorites are the Kiko ones, so I wanted some more, and MAC. So I'm just going to whiz you through these shades. I bought Rude for Me to tie in with the deeper tones, Soar to tie in with the nude one. And here's the thing, I used to own Soar, so this is a repurchase. So I like that I was able to get this 50% off and I didn't have to pay the full €27 price tag for a MAC lip liner I used to own. Because I decluttered it like 3 years ago because I was like, oh, I never use lip liner. I should get rid of this. I have the Soar lipstick as well, so I hope they're going to be a great combo. And then I have Greige, which is very similar to Stone from what I can tell in all of the swatches. But I'm intrigued. I want more cool toned lip liners, and Greige sounds like the ultimate. So got 3 MAC lip liners. And then they didn't have a deal on all of their line. It was just a couple of select items. But Douglas had a deal of 22% off of their entire website. And it's rare to find Douglas doing like 22% off of all of their lipsticks. I'm sure MAC isn't excluded from a lot of deals anymore, but I remember a time where MAC was never on sale, so I still have that mindset. And I got two vampy shades. To my surprise, now that MAC has changed a lot of their lines, Dark Side has gone, and that's the one I wanted to repurchase. That one expired on me, so I actually got rid of a lot of my MAC lipsticks a couple of years ago because once I started buying Lisa Eldridge, that was all I was wearing for like a good 2 years. So most of my other lipsticks were like, they just fell by the wayside. But now that I'm like, I bought some earlier in the year and I repurchased Brave over the summertime, and I was like, you know what I should still have in my life? Dark Side. Only to find out that now with the changes, it no longer exists. So I got two shades. One of them, because everybody online is raving about it and it's part of their new satin range. I haven't tried the renewed satin range. I was like, this way I can try it. And I found out that Media, instead of like, that used to be a satin, I believe, is now called Mixed Media, and it's a matte. I was like, that's probably going to be closest to Dark Side. Either one of these that is currently on sale. Let me show you. Here is Mixed Media. So this is the Maximal Matte Lipstick. And this is, I think, a little bit more purpley than Dark Side was. Dark Side was a little bit more red, but I have plenty of darker reds in my Lisa Eldridge lipstick, so I definitely wanted darker lipsticks that pulled a little bit more purple on me. That was the aim with this purchase, in case you were wondering. And then I bought Film Noir because the TikTok trend at the second, I was very influenced with this purchase, is Root For Me lip liner with Film Noir lipstick. So this is one of their sleek satin maximal lipsticks. And this is darker and it has a little bit more brown, but it also has purple and red. It looks pretty cool toned in the tube. I'm excited to see what this looks like on my fair skin with my like weirdly pink toned lips. Whenever I use like a shade like Stone or Grayish or these like I have a lot of cool toned in my lips, but it is pretty purpley leaning. So I'm hoping that the cool tone purpliness of my lips is going to play with these lipsticks and make them look more purple. But if I wear very dark shades, what usually happens is that it's so much of a clash with my skin tone that I get this really weird ring of pink around the lipstick. So I know some people get a white rim around their lipstick. I'm someone who gets a pink ring, and that kind of looks like your lipstick with these dark colors as if it has bled, which is why I wanted to have some matching lip liners that I can use with it, because I have found that that is the way to get rid of that ring of pink around my mouth. That has been the thing. And then, because I was browsing on Zalando, which is where I got the rest, I think, I found this. This is the Mina lipstick in shade 384, and I believe it was called Dark Cherry. I have a couple of Mina products, which I love. They are such a good European drugstore brand, and I love that their packaging is the shade of what the color is inside. And as I mentioned, this one does have a little bit of a snag on the side. I'm not sure if you can see. Do you see that? Like that lipstick, like it came this way. So it's not smudged or anything, but this looked like a really pretty, indeed, deep cherry to me. So I hope it goes onto my lips as this does. I haven't swatched it yet, so I don't know. And as I mentioned, I wanted to buy some more Milani Color Fetish lipsticks. I got one of the matte ones. This is in Dahlia. This is their dark purple, and I just wanted to test it out. These do have a bit of like a waxy, velvety finish at first, so these shades are darker once you start applying them than what they look like in the bullet. That's one thing to bear in mind. And then from the glossy finish ones, I picked up Nylon. And this looks really dark in the tube, but in the swatches online, it looked like a darker mauve tone. And I have two very bright shades from this line, but I don't have anything that could be more neutral on me. So that's why I wanted to try it. And Milani over here is very expensive because these retail for $14.95, as does Mina, full price. And now I got them for less than 10 euros. So to me, that was a good deal. And then I already mentioned Zalando, which is where I found a couple of these things. But they had 22% off if you bought over a certain amount of money, which is why I placed a slightly larger order there. And what I got are Revlon lipstick. Are these all the super lustrous? Let me see. Super lustrous, super lustrous, super lustrous. And I just got some shades that I have not been able to find anywhere. The only place where I have been able to find Revlon in stores in recent years is in the UK. I don't live in the UK, and their gondolas are like this small, and there were just a couple of shades I wanted to try. This was a recommendation from you guys. This is 463 Sassy Mauve as a option for a good mauve toned lipstick, because I'm currently on the hunt for a good mauve tone. On camera, it looks very peachy. Not in real life. It's definitely more purpley pink in real life. But I'm thinking that it has perhaps a little bit more warmth than I would want in a mauve tone. Like, let me see, because I have them here together anyways. So, yeah. This is the Revlon. Here's my new Kiko lipstick. This looks gray next to this guy, so I think this one is cooler toned. And then I got two shades, one of which I had, again, bought previously that I decluttered because I wasn't wearing it and it had expired because of it. But I used to own Black Cherry. This is such a classic for me. And I'm just thinking that this can be like the Revlon version of Film Noir. You know what I mean? It's this really, really deep purple, but because it has this super lustrous finish, it does have shine, and it isn't like fully opaque. So you can definitely like play a little bit more with it, and then with a lip liner, I think you can make it look really good. I'm definitely gonna have to test it out, and then this just looked intriguing to me. This is Berry Crush, and it's like a purple lipstick, which I have never seen a purple lipstick from Revlon before, so I wanted to test it out. As you can see, vampy things, nude things, trying to find some more good cool tone lipsticks, because in 2025, I think I want to do, like, kind of redo the cool tone series that I was doing in 2024. I still have one or two videos. By the time you're watching this, it's one more video that I'm going to do in December. That is part of that whole series, but I think I want to restart it in January and show you like my updated versions, because I have definitely found like other really good cool tone blushes, and I think I have found some really good cool tone neutral lipstick options again and stuff like that. So I just want to update the list and show you all of these updated products in videos to come in 2025. That's why I wanted to have some more lipsticks, to have some more of these vampy shades, most of which had expired, so I had to declutter them at some point, and now I can like get like stuck into wearing all the vampy lipsticks for the winter time, because that's when I like wearing these shades. When I'm super pale, I like having this clash of this really, really deep, intense lipstick to make myself look extra pale. Like part of me is goth, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So those are all of the bits I wanted to show you in today's video. Thumbs up this video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more by me. I make several videos every single week on here, 4 times a week, and it is December, so yes, of course, by the end of the month, I will be sharing all of my end of year favorites with you. So stay tuned for all of that goodness, and then in the meantime, I hope you have a great day, and see you in my next video. Bye-bye!